David, as a young, successful CPA, you seem to have not missed a beat since you decided to major in accounting. How long was it from when you graduated to when you earned your CPA?
I actually took a little bit longer than most people. I feel like I did actually take almost the full 16 months, or 18 months, a year and a half. I took about a year and 4 months. I studied a lot for each section. I had the fear of not passing, so I over-prepared. I completely overstudied, and for each section, so when I took it, I felt like that would be the last time I took that particular section. So I took almost the full 18 months, but I managed, that gamble paid off, and I managed to get through them all by that point.
Fantastic. David, what was your trick to finding a job in this down economy?
Well, I feel there were a couple of tricks that I had, and a couple of things that benefited me, and I would say the first one was persistence, and that is to say making sure that your name is not forgotten, that your name is remembered, that your resume is remembered. A lot of times the same recruiters will go to campuses or job fairs semester after semester, year after year, and so they usually will remember faces, they'll remember conversations, they'll remember resumes, and so make sure that you stand out. Make sure that if they don't catch your name the second time, the third time that they meet you, they remember meeting you the prior time. I think that, as well as getting your foot in the door. A lot of times you want to think that a position is, you want to get this high position starting out. Well, if you can just get your foot in the door, if you can just be a runner for a few months, a lot of times that talent will not go unnoticed. And so getting your foot in the door and then being persistent has helped me, and that has also helped some of my colleagues get jobs in these tough times.
Can you give us maybe one example of a way to stand out?
I would say an example of being persistent, for instance, or politely persistent, is just keeping in touch with these recruiters, with these HR managers, with these people that have the ability to maybe help you get that foot in the door. And I would say just keeping in touch throughout the year, not just prior to a job fair, not just prior to when they're going to be starting an internship, but say after tax season, hope tax season went without too many hiccups, and hope it went well. And keep in touch and maintain that communication, not just when they're expecting it.
David, what do you attribute your success so far to?
I would attribute my success so far to being able to learn on the go as far as entering the profession. When you enter the profession, you come out of accounting school and you've learned everything in the textbooks, all these different types of theories, all these different types of calculations, and when you sit down at your job for the first time, it's completely new. There's an incredible amount of information that you're presented with, all these different new types of calculations and new types of procedures that you are just completely overwhelmed with. And I would think that I have done as best as I could to completely absorb as much as possible. Try to retain whatever I can retain, try to memorize whatever I can memorize, and while doing so, not getting hung up on any mistakes that I may make, and to, whenever I have made a mistake, to try to pick myself up and move on. And because you're going to make mistakes, it's just going to happen, but to what extent can you learn from it, and to what degree can you not dwell on it and just move forward? And I think that is a good way to get yourself on the right foot in terms of entering the profession.
David, how important is it to you to be involved in the CPA community?
Well, I think it's important to be involved in the community and within the profession for both professional and personal reasons. For professional reasons, it shows the company that you work for, the firm that you work for, shows that you're committed to what you do, and it allows you to establish connections and build a network of those in your community. And along those same lines, for personal reasons, it allows you to get outside of the office to meet others that are sharing the same trials as you, the same difficulties as you, hitting the same roadblocks as you, and you get to discuss those and learn how to overcome them. And you can get that experience from everything from when you're a student, being in Beta Alpha Psi, to when you enter the profession, joining FICPA and joining different sections and different committees, and just getting involved, getting yourself out there and meeting different people.